Good afternoon, and thank you so much for joining me for this WNCT Now update. I'm Emily Severidge, live in our digital studio. A former Minneapolis police officer charged in the death of George Floyd is out of jail on $1 million bail. Derek Chauvin is the only officer directly charged in Floyd's death last May. The unarmed black man died after Officer Chauvin pressed his knee into Floyd's back and neck for more than 9 minutes. Floyd repeatedly told officers he could not breathe. Floyd's death on video led to global protests against police brutality and calls for social justice and equality. Chauvin is awaiting a trial next March on several charges, including murder. He was in custody at a Minneapolis maximum security prison. 3 other former Minneapolis police officers are facing abiding and abetting charges in the case. A judge is expected to rule next week on a motion from the defendants to move their trial date. The judge on that case has not yet ruled on that request. Tonight marks the first vice presidential debate of the 2020 presidential election. Democratic Senator Kamala Harris of California will square off against Republican Vice President Mike Pence in Salt Lake City. People have been waiting for the vice presidential debate since Joe Biden selected Senator Harris as his running mate. The matchup is drawing even more attention after President Trump tested positive for the coronavirus last week. It's a chance for voters to decide whether they trust the VP nominees to step into the presidency if required. The candidates will be more than 12 feet apart and separated by plexiglass barriers, an extra COVID-19 precaution. The debate will begin at 9 o'clock tonight. CBS News will have live coverage on WNCT, and the debate will also be live streamed on our website, WNCT.com. Stay with us, and we'll be right back with some more news after this short break.
Side reporters are all across the East and in your neighborhood.
In Tarboro,
in Kinston,
in Greenville,
at Atlantic Beach.
Covering local stories that impact you.
The groundbreaking ceremony is the beginning of construction for Morehead City's 4th City Hall.
People from all over the state of North Carolina gathered at the Sycamore Hill Missionary Baptist Church.
Historic Turnage Theater in Washington helps the community celebrate art and culture.
See their original reporting weekdays on 9 on Your Side News.
Thanks so much for joining me. If you're just tuning in, I'm Emily Severidge, live in our digital studio, providing you with some late afternoon updates. WNCT is bringing you live streamed updates every Monday through Friday at 1:30 p.m. and 4 o'clock p.m. to bring you the latest and up-to-date news before our nightly newscast. Doctors are giving an update on President Trump's condition as he recovers from the coronavirus. Navy doctor Sean Conley says the president's vital signs, including blood oxygen levels and respiratory rate, are stable and in a normal range. Conley says the president has not had a fever for more than 4 days and has been without symptoms for more than 1 day. The president returned home Monday after treatment over the weekend at a D.C. area military hospital. Conley says the president's labs came back Monday showing COVID antibodies. The doctor says President Trump won't be fully out of the woods for another week. Conley will continue to monitor the president and provide more updates on his condition as he recovers at the White House. Jacob Blake is out of the Milwaukee hospital where he's been recovering after being shot multiple times by police. The 29-year-old black man was shot 7 times in the back by a Kenosha officer. Video of the incident shows Blake trying to walk away from officers. He goes back to his car where his children are still inside, opens the driver's side door, and is seen leaning into the interior of the car. He's then shot multiple times by the officer. The shooting left Blake with spinal injuries, shattered ribs, a punctured lung, a damaged liver, and holes in his stomach. Blake's attorney says he is being treated at a Chicago rehabilitation center. All 3 officers present when Blake was shot are on administrative leave while the shooting is being investigated. Well, that wraps up this WNCT Now late afternoon update. We have more news coming up for you tonight on our broadcast at 5 and 6. Thanks so much for watching.